primetime news show called The Left, Right and Center. She's reported from Pakistan, Afghanistan, Iran, China, Tibet, Africa, and many more parts of the world. She's reported extensively on Jammu and Kashmir, winning the prestigious Ramnath Goenka Award for her coverage. Her first book, The Left, Right and Center, The Idea of India, was published in 2017. Nidhi, I'll leave you to take that.
Thank you. Thank you very much, everyone. It's a packed house. And once again, thank you to all of you for inviting us. You guys have done a terrific job with organizing this conference, and it's great to see all of you again. Well, Manish Sisodia comes from a party that is actually the true disruptor in Indian politics, since disruption is what the theme of this conference is. A little over 5 years ago, the Aam Aadmi Party was founded. I think nobody could predict the kind of phenomenal success that they had in Delhi, winning a thumping majority after a sort of false start. And it's been interesting to track the Aam Aadmi Party's political graph as well, because you've been surrounded by much controversy. You've also seen this sort of adversarial role with the centre that continues. But we've also seen, I think in the last year or so, or maybe 6 to 8 months, a kind of a new avatar of the party leadership, where there seems to be less noise and perhaps an effort to concentrate on the issues on the ground. And so you see, I think, a distinct change, whether it's on their social media platforms and elsewhere. There's a lot that the AAP is doing in Delhi. There's a lot that they're also being criticized for. So it would be great to hear from Manish Sisodia today in this keynote, and then to take your questions later. Manish.
Thank you, Nidhi. A very good evening to all of you. I am very happy to deliver this keynote address today here as Deputy Chief Minister of Delhi, and of course as an Education Minister of Delhi. So before I start, okay, I can see this here also. Before I actually start, I wanted to show you a picture if the person who is operating. Okay, can anyone of you guess what this picture is about? Sorry? Job interviews. Okay. One is job interview. Okay, I'll take one from each column. So here, college admissions. Okay. School admission. Anyone from there? Okay. Rajinikanth movie. Oh my God. I'm sorry. Mr. Kamal Hassan is going to join all of us after my session. So anyway, we must be preparing for that. Let me tell you, someone guessed rightly. This is a queue of parents standing outside a private school to get the admission form early in the morning. It might be around 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, or whatever. So this is the reality of Indian education system, especially when we are working in Delhi. People come up early in the morning, they line up to get a kindergarten admission form for their children, to get a good school admission. This site, as rightly someone observed, I mean, yes, I asked, but since I'm going to talk about education, one can easily guess that this is a line of parents. And it's not about Delhi only, it's throughout the country. Largely in major cities, it is the reality. Let me tell you, and many of you know, that India has we have done a great work on education since independence. We have created several public institutions, like we have got IITs, we have got IIMs, we have got AIMS, and so on. There are so many. All these highly professional institutes produce best of the best professionals. But these institutes just cater 1 to 5% of the population. This is the reality. And your access to these high-profile institutes be it IIT, IIM, AIMS or whatever. It depends on, it is determined by how many of such lines your parents actually stood by and were able to get the forms for your admission. When you sit in Harvard here, it's not because you are sitting because of you only. Many of your parents must have been queued up in the lines early in the morning at 4 o'clock, and then they got a form when you were a kid. You were only a kid, just maybe 3 years old. Your parents must have gone and lined up to get a form, and then they got it, maybe by chance, or maybe by money, or maybe by some big connection. Everything happens. So this is the reality. So what do you think? What happens to the, if I say this is for 5%, what happens to the other 95% of the city, of children who do not get admission into these big schools, good schools? Let me show you another school which works for the remaining majority of the children who attend. This is one of the government school in Delhi. This is in Delhi, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. This is not from the rural part of the city. Then there are this, you can see this, these pictures, bathroom, stinking bathrooms there, broken glasses, hardly, tube lights hardly functioning. So all these things are there. So this is the reality of education for 95% of the India. Same with Delhi. I'm not saying Delhi is a better place. Delhi was a better place. Same is true if I come to healthcare, because I have been invited to speak about education and health by Delhi government. This is a high-ended private hospital. Again, limited to maybe 5% of the population. If I go to next slide, and this is the hospital available to 95% of the people in Delhi. These are the ground realities. Overcrowded hospital, poor quality infrastructure, again long pendency for surgeries, long queues for this thing. So if I say that system has been working only for 5% of India, I won't be wrong to say this. These pictures speaks a lot. We have been able to provide world-class education and health facilities to 5%, but for the 95% we have failed to provide it. The country is not going to develop until 100%, until health and education system is provided to all 100%. We can't develop. We can give best professionals out of these 5%. Our professionals can come to Harvard. Our professionals can come out of those schools, can come to best of the best cities, best of the best companies, but just limited to 5%. India can't develop. India can only develop if we arrange health and education for all 100%. Then only we can develop as a nation. It depends on quality of its own human resource. It depends on the health and education facilities to all. What will the country do with the tax breaks and investments if there are less educated, less healthy, and less skilled population? 95% population is less healthy, less educated, less skilled. Can we make our country really grow? I feel no, we can't. Our party, as Nidhi introduced, formed the government in February 2015 with education and health, the two priority. Before our government, as you can see on the slide, the budget for education was 700 million. We came into power in 2015. So my first budget, I'm the finance minister also, we doubled the education budget in year one, and so far it has been 1.5 billion or 1.7 billion. It's almost 25% every year of the total budget of Delhi. Delhi government is the only government who is spending 25% of its budget, total budget, on education only. And we are not only spending, we are not just parking, we are spending it wisely in different fields that I'll share very quickly. In the first year, how we are spending, I'll tell you. In the first year, we concentrated on improving the infrastructure of schools, as you have seen, that how 95% of the India and 95% of the Delhi students have been studying in government schools. So we focused on, my first focus was on infrastructure development. When I went to schools, I found 150 students sitting in a classroom. Even God becomes a teacher, God can't teach these students in a classroom. We can be happy. One of our education minister or maybe some other officers can come to Harvard and tell you that, look, gentlemen, we have passed this Right to Education Act in our country, where we have mandated that we'll have one classroom for every 40 students. We'll have one teacher for every 40 students. But the reality is, when in 2015, 5 years after passing the Right to Education Act, we were having 150 students in one single classroom. So I focused on infrastructure. We started investing the money, and as you can see in some of the next slides, you can show the pictures. Yes, these are the new classrooms that we are coming up with. 8,000 classrooms have been added. This looks like a good private school classrooms then. Then these are the clean washrooms that are being provided. Yes, this is a government school. Then I'm not saying we have 1,000 schools. All government schools are not having these world-class facilities, but yes, we are developing world-class facilities like sports, classrooms, laboratories. This is a good picture. Can I request the person who is technically holding it, hold it. Before and after. This was a government school classroom earlier, and now after we have worked on it, then next slide we can go. Same, these are before and after pictures of the same classrooms. These are the halls, assembly halls, meeting halls, auditoriums we have developed into Delhi government schools. Yes, these are. This is a very interesting slide I wanted to show, that when many of our volunteers took the pictures and posted, someone said, no, you have taken a Singapore picture, you have just done some Photoshop and posted it here. So these are the real. So why I have taken this as my presentation, part of my presentation, because this seems to be unbelievable. In 3 years, government schools are really shining in Delhi, and these are real pictures, gentlemen, ladies, gentlemen, these are not fake ones. So this is the work that was stage 1. Stage 2 is very important, because even I usually say that even if you hire a 5-star hotel or Raj Mahal for making a school, you can't provide good education. For good education, you need teachers, and good teachers. Good means motivated ones. Good means well prepared to their subjects. Those teachers who love reading, teaching, learning, who are ready to learn from the students. So we have started this last year. After 1 year, my initial 1 year was for this. So what we did was, we asked our teachers itself, because Pratham, all of you must be aware about those who are interested in education, that Pratham is a pioneering NGO in India, and they keep doing a lot of studies about government school functioning. But we did this study ourselves. We asked our teachers that you do the test. And they themselves found that in their own classes, 74% of the children in class 6 were not able to read their own textbooks. So we started working on it. We classified the age level appropriation learning groups. We classified them and we named it challenge, the Chunauti. In Hindi we named it Chunauti. Chunauti means we'll make sure that every child can read its own textbook, at least to begin with. That was a challenge. For 1 or 2 months we kept working on those who were not able to read, and after 2 or 3 months of this whole challenge Chunauti exercise, I can say we increased this to, on other side it was like 26%, we came to 46% kids were able to read their textbooks. So it was a matter of focus on reading and reading abilities. We focused on it and we delivered it. So this is another thing that we developed. But one more important thing that we did was parent-teacher involvement. Parent-teacher meeting was the first initiative that was taken. Earlier, parents used to, I don't know if they used to avoid, because That's what I used to hear from the department. We call them, they don't come. But when we did a mega parent-teacher meeting, this was first time in Delhi government school, I was criticized that you are making a lot of advertisement, you are spending a lot of money on an event like PTM, which is so obvious in every school. Yes, we did. We spent a lot of money on advertisement. But those advertisements made parent-teacher, the first mega parent-teacher meeting in Delhi government school, a happening place in the city, a buzz in the city. Every person who was listening radio used to think, Mera bacha padhta hai, I'll go to school. Yeah, everyone used to tell his driver, maid, aapka bacha government school mein hai na, please make sure you go to the school for PTM. So this was the buzz created around, and 90% of the parents attending in one single day, all PTMs, in all schools. I asked the students, what makes you benefit? What makes you good about PTM? One girl told me, I usually go to school in the morning and I ask them that, should I stop this PTM if you are not happy? No, sir. Why? What is the benefit? One girl stood up and told me, sir, मेरी मम्मी ना मुझे जब से पीटीएम हुई है उन्होंने काम पे लगाना बंद कर दिया है. उनको लगने लगा है क्योंकि मेरी टीचर ने बताया है आई एम गुड एट स्टडी, सो नाउ शी फील आई शुड कंटिन्यू माय स्टडी. शी डिडंट प्रेशर मी टू डू माय regular work at home. This is one insight coming from. I personally went to many PTMs. I'm famous for my surprise visits. I've made lots of visits. So during PTM also, I went to some schools and I found this lady teacher was talking to a parent, and I just observed what was the conversation going on. After some time, this teacher realized that I'm standing, as the minister was standing there. She stood up. She started crying. Young lady teacher. I asked what happened. She said, sir, first time I'm realizing that how wrong I was. I asked her what happened. Quote unquote, she said, I used to think that parents of these students are nalayak one. They don't care of their kids. But now when I'm meeting these parents, I find how can they take care of their kids? This parent whom I was talking, this is quote unquote, this parent whom I was talking, he cleans the cars early in the morning at 5 o'clock. He takes a duster from his home, goes to clean the cars. At 6 or 7 or 8, he comes back. He goes to Sabzi Mandi, buy vegetable and sell them throughout the day. How can he take care of his kids? It's me who has to take care of his kids. This is the transformation that took place. Through PTM, I never thought of these outcome of that. Another thing that we did was school management committees. RT Act came in 2011. We made sure that elected members, the school management committees are formed, and all the members are duly elected. Now, for last 2.5 years, these elected SMCs are working like left, right, center in a fantastic manner. Just to give you a quick example, in one SMC, I found, someone told me that these SMC members came, they found that teachers used to bunk the school. They used to run away from the school just before closing or maybe midway. So these SMC members came to the gate. They prepared a roster for everybody. There are 12 parent members. They prepared a roster for themselves. Every day, 1 or 2 parents used to come out, sit at the gate, lock the gate from outside for 1 month. This happened. But on the other hand, how proactively these SMC members were working, school management committee members were working, that in one school, the principal told me that because of failure of government, which is me also, we were not able to provide a teacher in a school for particular reasons. And these SMC members got together. They requested one of their friend who was economics professor at DU. They personally requested him, can you teach a student? They're going to examination next month. And this DU professor agreed, DU economic professor, Delhi University economics professor agreed. He came to our school on request of SMC members without knowing us, without knowing the directorate. He made sure that he covered the syllabus for the students of class 12, and the students entered into exam. So these are the empowering situations that we are creating for parents. But good infrastructure, active parents, and of course keen students, but we need motivated teachers. So here working, we thought that if I want our teachers should deliver world-class education system, we have to tell them what the world is. So we started working on that. We are sending our Delhi government school teachers to Finland, to Cambridge. Next month, there is a group coming to Harvard also at Education Department. We are sending them to Singapore. When we took this initiative, it was government funded only. Everything is being funded by government. But because of these initiatives, some of my teachers got so motivated that they started applying on their own for different scholarships, fellowships. This was happening first time. And believe me, this year, 6 of Fulbright scholarships on education in India, all the 6 have been given to Delhi government school teachers. So motivation comes after the ambience is being changed. And let me announce with pride that one of my Fulbright scholar is sitting here. She was in Boston when I came to Harvard. She's Anju Pathak. She's the teacher who has got Fulbright scholarship. She is one of our mentor teacher. We have initiated another thing that we invited self-motivated teachers to work upon 5 schools, each 5 schools. So Anju is one of the mentor teachers who has worked for 5 schools regularly apart from what she was doing. It was sort of voluntarily. We gave them specific trainings also. But as she told me this morning only, that she got this scholarship because she worked for 2 years as mentor teacher. So this is the level of inspiration of teachers. Now things are moving forward in Delhi education, and things are improving. So infrastructure to cleanliness, to teacher motivation, to parents involvement, everything is happening. But this is just beginning. I'm not saying everything is solved. Government schools can deliver. I don't believe in comparing private school vis-a-vis government schools, because all the kids belong to Delhi. All the kids belong to parents of the people of Delhi. But still, a significant change is that in many of our government schools, we have found people transferring their kids from private schools, highly paid private schools, to government schools, because education in all our schools is free. That's a thing that we actually dream of. We have 16 lakh students in our government schools, and we have 10 lakh students in private schools. I personally visualize a day when Delhi government schools are capable to handle all the 26 lakh kids of Delhi, from entire Delhi. Then if some parents want to send their kids to private school, fair enough, we don't have objection. But as a government, we should be ready enough with quality school system, quality infrastructure, well-motivated teachers to welcome each and every student. That's the target that we are working upon. Coming to health. This is the first year of health. I mean, as I said, that condition of India's public health system is equally, I mean, it's like education itself. So before I come to health, actually, I wanted to have a question again, especially for the students who have come from India. How much health insurance premium are you paying here as in a semester? How much? 5,000 rupees or dollars? $5,000? Okay. In student, I'm asking about students studying at Harvard, they are paying 5,000 or per year, 5,000 not rupees but dollars. It's huge amount. Can you imagine any Indian ordinary family can afford this there while way back in India? No, it's not possible. So we don't need insurance, we need assurance. Medical problem of the country, health problem of the country cannot be solved through medical insurances. It can be solved through health assurances. And for last 3 years, our government, we have been trying to solve this problem with this 3-tier health system that we are developing. One is much talked about, Mohalla Clinic. Mohalla Clinic is a revised version of primary health centers that earlier government used to establish, but is a systematic version of the local physician, local private physician that used to practice in our neighborhood, who used to charge us maybe 200, 500 rupees, 50 rupees, but used to give us at least good services there. So this is the first upgrading hospitals. I just got a picture for you that we can come to Mohalla Clinic straight forward. Yes, this is the Mohalla Clinic. Very small, very cozy kind of infrastructure, but AC. This is air conditioned. Inside, you can see, you can go to the next slide. You can meet MBBS doctor, fully professional with polite attitude. This is the condition of the service. You have to be polite enough. Then you get free medicines. You get free tests. 200 kind of tests are free inside Mohalla clinics. At present, 160 Mohalla clinics we have set up. We have planned and almost stage is set up for another 1,000. And then just to add to this, we have 1,000 schools in Delhi government. We have planned to set up one Mohalla clinic in each school, especially for the kids and teachers. That's apart from this 1,000. So that we can keep a record track of the health sector of the students. Then we can go to the next. Yes, this is interesting figure. The average cost of building one primary care center before we came to power was $700,000. One Mohalla clinic is built only on average of $20,000. So this is the big change. That was not functioning. This is functioning. The average operating cost to the government for consultation at traditional government hospital is $15 per patient to the government. We are not charging, or everything is free. In Mohalla clinic, it is less than $2. So if I send, so that's very important because all our hospitals are flooded with, most of the time, with requirement of general physicians. If general physician is, and we are spending $15 there. If general physician is sitting in Mohalla clinic at $2, so that's the saving. That's the medical assurance to the nation, to the people of Delhi. And we have successfully been able to deliver this. Then quickly I'll come to this thing that how, we can go to next slide then. There's no next slide then. Okay, thank you. Thank you. You see why I said all this, because many times people tell me, you are working in health, you are working in education, there should be a cost. If you make everything free, then there should be a cost, people should be taking care of cost. No. The principle of Aam Aadmi Party government that we are working with is that if you are collecting taxes from the people, you are not collecting these taxes just to have big kotis and banglas and make big plans. The primary duty is to provide healthcare and education to all your kids. Then only you can create, then you can only talk about the development of the nation. What we need some complicated scripts, policy perceptions. I personally feel no policy making. Policy making is not a rocket science. It requires honest intent to find creative solutions, and that's what we have been doing in last 3 years in health and education. Just to quickly wind up, especially in education, after giving up good or taking off the project of good infrastructure for Delhi government schools, good training facilities for all teachers, good ambience, good dignity for parents and students, we are now entering into core of the education. This core is the content. I usually say, it may be a passing remark, but all of us have passed some examination in our school days. And if you have attended the classes, just recall that, if I may be wrong or right, you may just judge that. Maximum time what a teacher is teaching in a classroom in our country does not depend on the learning outcome that is set for that topic, but it generally depends on the questions that were asked 5 years back in the examination. So the driving force of the teaching in the classroom is not the learning outcome. The driving force are the questions that were asked during last 5 years question papers. So we are changing the entire evaluation process of Delhi government schools. We have trained our question paper setters. There were a lot of resistance because there is a lot of, okay, just give me 2 minutes. Yeah, examination period. We did this, and when I was talking to my teachers who set papers, I was telling them that, look, we have to look for the outcome. How? So I just gave them a quick example that every time you teach the student, banana have calcium, proteins are found in these items, in these food items, you get this nutritious value from this food item, and you make them rote learning, and you take an examination at the end of year, or maybe assessment at the end of 3 months, and you ask them, what is banana for? Where do you get protein? Where do you get all these things? Fair enough, a student writes, he or she passes. But all of you sitting here, how many times we actually practice what we are eating? What are we having? What kind of nutritious foods we are having? No, we don't. Because वो तो examination देने के लिए पढ़ा था ना, जिंदगी में करने काम आने के लिए क्या पढ़ा था? So I told them that, look, can we start some evaluation like, I asked the student, what you had in breakfast this morning? List 1, 2, 3, one item. What was the nutritious value that you got from that food this morning? So the response I got from the papers, one of the intelligent paper setter teacher was, sir, वो तो ठीक है, but इससे सबके answers अलग-अलग नहीं आएंगे. मैंने कहा आएंगे. So that's fine. But sir, फिर उनको numbers कैसे देंगे? So because numbers देने हैं, इसलिए don't care about the evaluation, assessment, just make them rote learning, give them a certificate, even if they can't use the information for their entire life. So we are changing this examination system, and one most happy thing that we are doing in government school is happiness curriculum. We are introducing happiness curriculum for nursery to class 8 to begin with, and this curriculum will develop. We are preparing this curriculum with the aim of developing critical thinking, self-confidence in these students, and I hope that now when we have good infrastructure, now we have good motivated teachers, we'll be able to deliver happiness, not to the student, but to the nation, and to the society. So here we end. What next? Happiness is the next. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much to Manish Sisodia for that rather detailed presentation on what the AAP government is doing in Delhi with health and education. And they're often criticized for a lot of things, but I think that by and large people would say that these are two sectors in which they're really trying hard to make a difference. We just have a few minutes left, so I'm going to be very un-TV journalist-like and let you guys ask the questions because there is just 10 minutes or so left. Yeah, okay. Can we get a mic? Is there a mic here, or can you go back and so that everyone can hear your question?
Sisodia sir, if you can hear me well, you went to Finland to eat an ice cream, and for 3 days it ran on the channels. And now you are wearing the red shirt and this pant. Every time I see you on a red shirt, you look different than other politicians. My question to you is, what is that you've put in a presentation which a lot of them I didn't know about it. Why is that this message is not passing on? Because I come from Andhra Pradesh. It's unbelievable stuff. But कुछ तो गड़बड़ है सर आपके और मीडिया के बीच में. क्या है सर वो?
मेरे और मीडिया के बीच में यही गड़बड़ है कि जब बोलना होता है तो माइक थोड़ा देर से मिलता है. Anyway, yes, I agree with you that when I went to Finland, just to understand their education system, I also felt sad about it, that my Finland visit was being shown to the nation that, look, Mr. Minister, you are having ice cream and gala dinner at a friend's house. But anyway, media is interested in my ice cream. I'm happy. I love ice creams. And still, I don't know, these are my friends also, but if they are interested in those pictures, after this we'll go to have ice cream on some good ice cream corner, so that you can have a good primetime debate. Manish Sisodia having ice cream at the Harvard gate. But believe me, my passion is, yes, I love ice cream, but my passion is education. And I'm working for it. And the message I know is being delivered to the parents. That's what, and it's happening. If my teachers on their own have started applying for Fulbright scholarship, not only they have started applying, they are coming here, they are studying in US, top US universities and schools for 40 days. I'm earning a lot, don't worry.
Hello. Question here, sir.
Yes, I agree.
Manish Sisodia, sir, question here.
1 second, there's a question for this gentleman and then you. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I hope you can all hear. So, Mr. Sisodia, I wish you would take classes for all the education ministers of the country, of different 28 states, how to run the education ministry. I wish that could happen someday, and other state education ministers could get some rub off from you and transform their government schools the way Delhi is doing. Fantastic job there. Basically, I'm a hobby writer myself. You know, I mean, when I started to know about.
What's your question, please?
Yeah.
You just have 2 minutes left, so.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, all in all, I mean, you're doing a fantastic job on the education sector. Okay, yeah.
Okay, so you have a comment, not a question. I think it's because we just have 3 minutes left. The gentleman there, and then sir, you'll have to go to the mic there.
Yeah, Manish Sisodia, I have question and I have doubt. That is about your growth of your party. You are doing fabulous, but I want you to go further to different states. But for that, you need people, and you need more people to grow. But irony is that the people are going away from your party. And I have list of people: Yogendra Yadav, Anand Shah, Shanti Bhushan, Prashant Bhushan, Anjali Damania, Meera Patkar, Justice Santosh Hegde, Vinod Kumar Binni, Sajia Ilmi. So, sir, how you tackle this kind of thing? The people are going away from you. We want you to grow.
Thank you for having concern for Aam Aadmi Party. My concern, brother, is my nation, not my party. Party will come and go. I am worried about the nation. The day I start working on party, I'll save my party. But look, then I won't be able to work on education. There are foolproof, fantastic, developed, united parties in our country. But are they delivering on education? Are they delivering on health? No. I'm happy by delivering on health, by seeing accusations and left, right, center hammering. You are not able to handle your party. Thank you very much. Party को बाद में देख लेंगे. अभी तो देश की चिंता कर लेते हैं.
Hello. My question is in continuation of that question only.
Sorry. I am. Hello, 1 second. You cannot just grab the mic and ask a question. I'm really sorry. The gentleman there in the grey hair.
One quick comment I want to make about this gentleman who made this classes for other. You see, democracy has its own beauty. If one minister like me is working in one state, the beauty of democracy is that people in other states will definitely be demanding to their ministers. If not today, then tomorrow. And if they don't deliver, they will change the ministers. That's the beauty of democracy. So let's believe on democracy. Democracy will take its own way.
Hello.
With EVMs that work, right?
Yeah, with EVMs if they work.
Hi, Mr. Manish. I have two small questions, one on this education and another on this health area. So one is the dropout rate of SC and ST students, especially in middle school and high school, is very high all over the different states. So did you find any difference between the dropout rates when the old system was in place and the new system is in place, and how much was that? And the second question is about your last slide about this reduction in the amount. So it is a drastic change from 700,000 to 23,000 for the constructions of a medical clinic. So how could you achieve that much difference? Because it is a drastic difference between the construction cost as well as the maintenance cost of that.
We are using the latest technology. And latest technology in construction business allows us to construct a good mohalla clinic, fully AC, functional, within that cost. I don't know how they were building those, but now we are building. And then you can come to Delhi and I'll take you to some of the mohalla clinics that we are developing in this cost only.
All right, I'm really sorry we're out of time completely because the next session is due, and I will let you mob Manish Sisodia separately.
About what was this about? Sorry. Yeah, dropout. Sorry, I'll just conclude this.
Last 1 minute, yeah.
You see, we have to understand why the dropout is. Because we introduced a lot of things in haphazard manner. We copied and pasted this no detention policy without doing any preparation. So as a fallout of this, there is failure. There is not, learning is not happening. Then there is dropout. So we have to check those. At least in Delhi, I'm not facing that much problem about dropouts, and we are taking care of in different sectors, in different manners.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
So thank you very much. I invite all of you to work with Delhi on education. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Manish Sisodia ji and Niji, for doing such a fine job of moderating. We do have something for you. Please hold on.